Mr. Harold Lancaster had spent a lifetime building his empire. From humble beginnings, he had labored relentlessly, expanding his businesses until he became one of the wealthiest men in the country. His chain of enterprises stretched across multiple industries, and he was respected by many for his generosity. Employees adored him, not only for his kindness, but also for his ability to uplift those around him. Yet, despite all his success, Harold had neglected the most important aspects of life: love and family. One fateful afternoon, while addressing his board members, Harold suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest. The world around him blurred, and the last thing he heard before losing consciousness was the panicked voices of his employees. He collapsed unconscious and was rushed to the hospital. The medical team worked tirelessly, and after several hours, he was revived. When he woke up, he saw concerned faces staring at him. The doctors and nurses who had saved his life. "Mr. Lancaster, you need to rest," the doctor said. "Your body is exhausted. You'll need to stay in the hospital for a few days while we run some tests." At first, Harold resisted. He had meetings to attend, deals to close. But the look in the doctor's eyes told him this wasn't negotiable. Reluctantly, he agreed. Days passed, and Harold began feeling much better. He was sure that soon he would be discharged. But one morning, as the doctor came into his room for a routine checkup, something changed. The doctor had started with a warm smile, but as he reviewed the results, his face darkened. Harold's heart pounded. "Doctor, what is it?" he asked. "Just say it." The doctor hesitated before answering. "Mr. Lancaster, I'm afraid there's bad news." Harold swallowed hard. "Tell me." "You have stage 3 kidney cancer." Silence filled the room. The words echoed in his mind, but they seemed unreal. He felt fine. How could this be true? Refusing to accept the diagnosis, he sought a second opinion at another hospital, but the results were the same. His worst fears were confirmed. Devastated, he returned home, retreating into deep thought. For years, he had poured his energy into his work, sacrificing personal relationships in the process. Now faced with the reality of his mortality, he realized the emptiness of his wealth. There was no one to inherit his legacy, no child to carry his name. The loneliness was unbearable. One day, while strolling through the market, he stopped at a fruit stand. A young woman, Mirabelle, attended to the stall. She had an innocence about her, a purity that captivated him instantly. She smiled as she handed him a basket of apples, and in that moment, something stirred within him. Over the next few days, Harold found himself returning to her stall. Each time, he would linger a little longer, engaging her in conversation. Finally, he gathered the courage to tell her his story. He spoke of his illness, his fears, and his desire to have a child. "You want me to have your child?" she asked, struggling to comprehend his request. "Yes," he admitted, his voice trembling. "I don't just want an heir. I want someone to love me in my final days. I don't want to leave this world alone." She was conflicted. She asked for time to think. Days passed, and Mirabelle found herself thinking about Harold more than she expected. She had never been in love before, had never even been with a man. The thought of bearing a child for someone she barely knew frightened her. Yet, there was something about Harold that pulled at her heart. When she finally called him, she said, "I've thought about it, and I can't do it. I'm a virgin." Harold's admiration for her deepened. He had not expected this revelation, but it made him love her even more. He reached out and gently held her hands. "Mirabelle, I don't just want a child. I want you. I fell in love with you the first time I saw you. I don't want artificial insemination or mere arrangement. I want love, true love with you." Mirabelle's heart pounded. She saw the sincerity in his eyes, the depth of his emotions. Tears welled up in her eyes as she realized she had fallen for him too. "Then let's not rush," she whispered. "Let's do this the right way." Harold and Mirabelle embarked on a beautiful love story. He courted her, showered her with love, and, despite his health challenges, made every moment count. They got married in an intimate ceremony filled with people who adored Harold. Soon after, Mirabelle became pregnant. Though Harold's illness remained a reality, love gave him new strength. Mirabelle's presence brought him joy, and as they awaited the birth of their child, he no longer feared death. He had finally found what he had been searching for all his life, not just an heir, but a family, love, and a reason to live beyond wealth. In the end, it wasn't his fortune that defined his legacy. It was the love he had finally embraced, the family he had built, and the happiness he found in Mirabelle's arms.